Greetings, television family. We have gathered once again in front of the warmth of our high-definition televisions for another week's worth of editions of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 16th day of October 2023. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. How you doing? Hope you had a good weekend. It is, what do we have out here right now? It is 48 degrees here in the big city. Fairly clear skies. Look at the view behind us from our Wenatchee Heights camera. A little unsettled today, a little more rain. We had a very pleasant weekend as far as rain was concerned. We needed it. Yesterday was a perfect day to stay inside and get stuff done around the house. Of course, I didn't do any of that. We had 58 yesterday with some light rain. Going to be a little bit warmer today. We could set record high temperatures mid to late week. We're in for a significant warming trend. Going to start Wednesday. We have some record high temperatures within the realm of possibility anyway. We'll get to that forecast. Going to be unseasonably warm and quite a bit of sunshine for most of the work week. In news, we will give you the news because we think it's important that you know the news. In sports, let's see. Wildcats win, Bulldogs win, Panthers win on Friday. Big win for the Huskies on Saturday. Ugly, ugly loss from the Cougars on Saturday night. And let's not even talk about the Seahawks, but we will anyway. We will have sports, everything else you need, and it's coming up this Saturday. This Saturday, the second annual Apple Valley Record Expo. Apple Valley Record Expo, easy for me to say. Joel Myrene is putting these things together. They did one back in like May. Huge success. He thought, well, let's do it again. Joel will be joining me in the back half of the program. If you're into records, I am. You'll want to pencil Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon aside and head on down to the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo. Joel will be my guest in the back half of the program, and we begin with our tour around the valley in north central Washington. You can always see behind me what the Wenatchee Heights camera looks like, so we're going to go ahead and switch to Hay Canyon. Apparently, look at the little patches of fog and little clouds hanging around Cashmere. We had a good time on Friday night broadcasting the Cashmere Bulldog Omak Pioneer football game. Cashmere pulled it out. Very entertaining game. We were glad to be there. The folks in Cashmere and Jeff and his crew were very hospitable to us here at the NCW Life Channel. Good morning to Cashmere. Let's see where else we're going to go visit today. We're going to visit the Heights with the beautiful blue skies. We're a ways from sunrise still. 7:21 this morning, sunset 6:11 tonight. That's 10 hours and 50 minutes of daylight. We're losing about 2.5 minutes of daylight a day this time of the year. Good morning to the valley. That is zoomed way out. Elsewhere on the agenda, downtown Wenatchee. From the roof of the Cascadian, looking to the north, you can see the Motel 6, of course. They're leaving the light on for you. And light traffic. Monday is always the lightest traffic, of course, of the work week. The local schools, the two big schools, Wenatchee and Eastmont, they have late start. And a lot of people just have Mondays off anyway. Lucky buggers. Where else are we off to? Well, Billy Goat. Hello. Hi, Billy Goat. How you doing? Good morning to Pateras and the Matty Midhow River. The sun's just starting to come up to the north of us. Everybody's in for some pretty cloudy and occasional rainy weather as we take a look at the forecast for the week ahead. Do we have any more cameras? No, there's the week ahead. A little rainy today, not real windy. We'll have a little breeze tonight. A cold front is coming in and coming out. It's not particularly strong, but it's strong enough to give us some light rain, especially in the afternoon hours. And as far as the wind is concerned for the Wenatchee Valley, not too much, just a little bit tonight. And then things get really different on Tuesday. We'll start seeing some sun breaks. It's going to be a little bit cooler on Tuesday, and then unseasonably mild with the possibility of record high temperatures. That's really going to start. We could set a record high temperature on Thursday. Certainly Friday is a very distinct possibility. Possibly even Saturday. We are in an El Nino year, and right now, and that means warmer than normal temperatures for north central Washington. And right now, that's exactly what it's shaping up to be. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Clouds are going to have the upper hand today. A couple of sun breaks. And we'll see some rain, about a 50-50 chance of rain, most of that in the afternoon hours. We'll get up to about 65, which is warmer than we had yesterday. Our normal high, by the way, this time of the year is 61. 46 for the overnight low, little windy, but the cold front's going to exit. While you're sleeping, we'll have a few clouds tomorrow. It'll give way to sunshine, and we'll get up to 63. It's going to take us a while to warm up because the overnight low is a little on the cool side. And then we're going to be near 70 on Wednesday. The record high On Wednesday is 72, so we're going to be close to it, but maybe not quite. Thursday's forecast high is 76. The record high on Thursday's date is 75 degrees. That was set back in 1981. And Friday, with a forecast high of 75, that would blow past the record high temperature. On Friday was 70. That's set back in 2013. I think we're going to break that. So we have the opportunity, perhaps for a record high temperature on Wednesday, going to get close to it on Thursday, could very well surpass it on Friday, and possibly even Saturday as well. Get ready for some fairly warm temperature. Well, who's kidding who? Abnormally warm temperatures as we're closer now to the end of October than we were to the beginning by the middle of the week. It's going to be sunny and very, very mild. I already turned off the air conditioning. Don't make me turn it back on again. 6 minutes after the hour, after a quick break, we'll have your headlines on this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
We're turning up the heat with the hottest deals of the year. Right now, during the hot summer clearance sale, only at Click It RV. #1 in sales and service. The best RV brands. Over 1,000 to choose from. And the best deals of the year on remaining 2023 model year-end clearance with incredible 30% off. Brand new RVs discounted up to 30%. Save thousands. Plus, no payments until 2024. During the hot summer clearance sale, now only at Click It RV. 5 superstore locations. Hurry in today.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Hi, this is Frank Kuntz, Mayor of the City of Wenatchee. Mike Poyer will make a great mayor. Mike is consistent, he's thoughtful, he shows up, he's prepared, and he always gets to the right answer. Mike just loves this town. He was born and raised here. He has a passion for making this place better, as we all do. And it's been a pleasure working with him on Wenatchee City Council for the past 4 years, and I just look forward to having him lead our city going forward. So join me in voting for Mike Poyer, Mayor.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
48 degrees. We'll have some clouds and a little bit of rain this afternoon, a little bit of wind tonight. Very rapidly moving cold front coming in. Coming out, sunshine on Tuesday afternoon, and by the time we get to Wednesday and for the rest of the week, very warm temperatures for this time of the year. It's 9 minutes after the hour. The Wenatchee City Council on Thursday did some reorganization. They tightened up who does what and where. They've eliminated the office of the Executive Services Director, and now it is the City Administrator. Her name is Laura Gloria. She's been the Executive Services Director for 4 years. She will now have the City Administrator title. The City of Wenatchee's attorney, Danielle Marchant, explained what exactly that means to the Wenatchee City Council.
The mayor is trying to leave the city code in a better place than when he found it. Upon review of Title I, there were certain provisions in the code that conflicted with each other. There were certain provisions that were a bit unclear. There were certain provisions that needed updating. And so this first ordinance does that. During the public comment, you heard a lot about city administrator. But city administrator is not a new position. It's been a position within the city since about 1995. In about 2005, executive services director kind of popped up, and they had overlapping duties. The current executive services director duties cover about 70% of the city administrator duties. And so it's basically Laura just taking on those extra 30% duties that are already outlined in the code for the city administrator.
The Pacific Northwest Hydrogen Association has entered into negotiations for federal hydrogen hub funding with the U.S. Department of Energy. What does that mean for us? Well, success between the two parties would help the Douglas County PUD expand their work at their hydrogen facility. These negotiations are part of the Regional Clean Hydrogen Hubs program. The idea to launch a network of clean hydrogen producers and consumers. The funds up for negotiations are part of President Biden's Investing in America campaign. If the negotiations pay off, the hub is eligible to receive up to $1 billion over the course of 9 years, and the program will reduce carbon dioxide emissions by about 25 million metric tons. Local migrant worker families will become the subject of a film. It's going to be produced by the Washington office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction. Videographers joined families in Wenatchee and Kuntz to highlight the educational experiences of students with families who travel from place to place for agricultural work. In the Wenatchee School District, there are over 1,000 students in their migrant education program. The majority of those students in the program belong to families in the fishing and agricultural industries. Wenatchee School District said Director of Latino Relations Alfonso Lopez, who works closely with the migrant program, helped the Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction identify a family from Wenatchee to profile. The same day the Washington Supreme Court swore in new members to the Washington State Bar, they also are considering how becoming a lawyer could be easier. The court was briefed Wednesday on a proposal that would allow law school graduates to practice law without taking the bar exam. It's called the Alternative Licensing Program. It's being promoted by a Bar Association task force that was created in 2020. The idea, reducing racial and ethnic disparities among the state's practicing lawyers. Now, the Supreme Court hasn't taken action on this yet, but the task force is seeking public input about that proposal. And the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival took home a whole trunk full of awards. Recently, and well-deserved, I might add, they had the 2023 Pacific Northwest Summit Awards, and it was hosted by the Washington Festival and Events Association. One award, the Green Program, that honors the Zero Waste Apple Blossom. There are the good folks there. That's a program for effectively collecting, recycling, and composting trash from the festival. We create a lot of it. Other awards, Best Community Outreach Program for the Apple Blossom Youth Parade Grand Marshal, and the Best Multi-Agency Collaborative Program for Chief for a Day, and the Best Outdoor Advertisement. Congratulations to the whole crew at the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Hope they have room on their wall to hang all those plaques. They just added to them. And that is what's making news at 13 minutes after the hour. The news will come your way tonight, of course. At 5, 6, and 10, Jefferson Robbins will be in the anchor chair tonight. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on TV, if that doesn't work for you. We'll have it for you on our website, ncwlife.com, right about 5 o'clock. Same deal with our Facebook page and on our YouTube page. If there's something out there that you think we need to know about, you let us know about it. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Sports, you want it? You're going to get a bunch of it. It's next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Local cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Hey there, folks. Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
"16 minutes after the hour, we'll start out the weekend wrap in sports with high school football on Friday night, and there was a bunch of congratulations to the Eastmont Wildcats. Big victory. They're still undefeated. They beat Skyline on the road, 21-3. Gunnar Peterson rushing for a couple of touchdowns. Luke Gale threw for another. Wildcats beat the Spartans. Jack Flugie scoring 2 of his 3 touchdowns in the second half. Wenatchee beats Davis on the road, 28-14. Moses Lake rolls over Sunnyside. They're undefeated. They're 7-0. The Mavericks are 50-13 the final there. And Eisenhower scored the game's only touchdown in the second overtime. They beat West Valley for the first time since 2016. They knock off the Rams 6-0. CWAC, Ephrata remains the only unbeaten team in league play after a 48-14 win over Grandview on Friday. Othello topped Ellensburg 17-10. East Valley beats Prosser for the first time since 1982. Wow. The final there was 17-13, and Zilla over Sela 21-14. Carroll Boutrell League, OMAC had designs on ruining Cashmere's homecoming. In fact, they jumped out to a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0. The Bulldogs countered with 3 scores before halftime, and they went on to the victory. A very exciting football team. We were there. Grant Olson and Brandon Harley had the call.
Again, 5 receivers in this offensive set for the Pioneers. Sackman going to keep it. Why not? Lots of room up the middle of the field. Cuts it outside. He's at the 20, down to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, OMAC. And Sackman, a called quarterback keeper up the middle. He is on the way, 40, 30, and he is going to score 80-yard touchdown run for Bo Sackman. Clock running, 5:46 left in the first. Handoff, it's Peterson, big hole right side, cuts it back, upfield, 20, shakes a block, 10-5, and touchdown, Tyler Peterson, 33 yards. Sackman again, back in shotgun, 4th down and 11. I don't think he's going to punt it away. In fact, he's going left side. That's that same play I think they scored on earlier. It goes incomplete, so OMAC going to turn it over on downs and give Cashmere some excellent field position at the OMAC 35-yard line. 3rd and goal, 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Back other side, just like OMAC did on their scoring play. It's Zavala, and he scampers into the end zone. Touchdown. Running back beside him, back to pass. Lots of time this time, and he's going to wing it right down the center of the field, and it's picked off at the 45-yard line. Trey Smith with the interception, and that's our first turnover of the night. Hatmaker in shotgun. Back to pass, middle of the field, nice pass. It's the tight end, once again Smart, and he wrestles his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Cashmere. 20 yards, Smart from Hatmaker.
Great play action off the fly sweep. Again, OMAC has to honor that. So many times Isaac Zavala has run that for a huge gain.
What are they going to do here? 4th and 11 to 12 yards to go. Sackman, time. Looking right now, looking over the middle of the field, has a receiver, and it's caught at the 39-yard line, still on his feet, the 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Tegan Mullet. Smith in motion, handoff Peterson right side, gets a lead block from Smith, and that springs him into the end zone. 12-yard run by Peterson. And Cashmere back in the lead. What a drive by the Bulldogs. To the Pioneer 4-yard line. Trey Smith in there, quarterback, loses the football, and OMAC comes up with it. How about that? crowd getting into it here at Kashmir. 4th down and 11. This is the game right here. Long drifting pass left side, and it's picked off by Trey Smith. And that will do it for the Bulldogs.
It was an entertaining night on Friday night in Kashmir. Other CTL action over the weekend. Quincy topped Chelan in overtime, 26-25. The Goats scored on its only possession of the extra frame. Then they went for 2 and the win, and they didn't get it. In Columbia, Burbank blew out Cascade 41-6. B-League football on Friday. Okanagan remains undefeated. They rolled over Lake Roosevelt 47-0. Brewster by just a point over Manson 21-20. Northwest Christian torched Tenasket, as you see there. Waterville Mansfield beating Bridgeport 62-20. Antioch stopped Soap Lake in a big score. Moses Lake Christian rolled over Oroville, and Davenport over Pateros in another lopsided game 60-7. We'll have prep football on Friday night. Wenatchee Panthers, Sunnyside Grizzlies leave off the field at the Apple Bowl. It is homecoming. Grant Olson and Brandon Harley again with the call. Pregame at 6:30. The Wenatchee Wild dropped a Western Hockey League game on the road against Seattle in Kent on Friday. The Thunderbirds jumped out to an early lead, and despite goals for the Wild from Briley Wood and Stephen Arp, Seattle went on for the 4-2 victory. Wenatchee's back in action tomorrow night. They'll be in Kennewick against the Tri-City Americans. They'll drop the puck at 7:05. They are back home on Friday night. Eastmont bounced back from its only Big Nine soccer loss with a win on Saturday. The Wildcats edged Eisenhower 3-2. Wenatchee beat West Valley 7-4. Moses Lake continued on its roll with a 7-0 win over Sunnyside. In other action on Saturday, Bridgeport edged Omak. Freeman quieted Quincy on the pitch. Davenport blanked Okanagan, and Manson topped Oroville. On the Lishwa Prep volleyball scoreboard, Chelan swept 3 sets from Grand Kapowson on Friday. On Saturday, it was Fellowship Christian over Cascade. Brewster blanked Omak. Antioch edged Waterville Mansfield. They had to go to all 5 sets. And same deal with Lake Roosevelt and Liberty Bell with Lake Roosevelt on top of that. Speaking of broadcasting sports, we'll be at it again tomorrow. Big Nine volleyball. Wenatchee plays host to Davis. Eric Granstrom with the courtside pregame just before they get going at 7 o'clock. Fun game on Saturday afternoon at Husky Stadium. Number 7 Washington, number 8 Oregon. Michael Penix Jr. hitting Rome Odunez on an 18-yard touchdown pass with a $1:38 to play. Huskies beat the Ducks. Crazy, fun, entertaining game. 36-33. Coach Kalen DeBoer says this is a game that the Huskies are going to remember for a while.
Man, there's nothing more special as a football coach than to see these guys just enjoying that moment that we just had out there, and they're going to remember this forever. These games are huge. They will. These are the ones they're going to talk about. Reunions and whatever happens the rest of the season. That will add to it, but they're going to be talking about the 2022 game, the 2023 game. Question about. Did it feel like last year? It felt exactly like last year. I was thinking the exact same thing on the field. And I guess that's one of the things that actually kept me feeling like keep fighting, because those are the experiences we've been through together. And I know how these guys are going to respond, and they do. And our coach, same thing. And it just trickles down each and every day. And in the big moments like you saw today, our guys just kept fighting.
On a Saturday night in Pullman, Arizona showed up. Cougars did not. They got blown out at home, 44-6. Cougar coach Jake Dickert says, "It's my fault."
Give credit to Arizona. Completely dominated all 3 phases of the game, and frankly, it wasn't even close. So that, they had a good plan on defense. They kept us off balance. We went down and scored in the first series, and then really never got anything going really the rest of the game. Turned the ball over, had undisciplined penalties, false starts, personal fouls, defense not fitting things up right, and that's a credit to them and what they did. And not that it's going back and looking in the mirror, but it starts with me. I got outcoached today. And I'll take that. Obviously the team wasn't prepared. We're better, we feel, than this result, and we got to find ways to fix it.
Cougars started 4-0. They've now lost their last 2 in a row. And the local colleges, how did Eastern do? Well, they let Idaho State back into the game. Idaho State scored 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to pull away from the Eagles, and Central Washington down in Texas won a defensive battle at Midwestern State. Seattle Kraken have not won a game through 3 games in NHL play, 2-1 the final in a shootout against the Blues. On Saturday, Jaden Schwartz scored the game's first goal, but the Blues countered with another. The game went into overtime. After a scoreless extra session, St. Louis won the shootout. Seattle's back home Tuesday. Their home opener against Colorado at 7 o'clock at Climate Pledge Arena. That'll be on ESPN. The Seahawks could not muster the game-winning touchdown late, lost to Cincinnati 17-13. Seattle was 1 for 5 in the red zone. Geno Smith threw 2 interceptions. That cost the Seahawks a chance. After allowing the Bengals to score on their first 2 possessions, Seattle's defense buckled down and held Cincinnati for the rest of the game. Coach Pete Carroll says losing stinks, but the effort was there.
Those guys just gave us every chance to keep in there, and we had our opportunities. I liked the way we went about it. We had our shot. We were going to win. We weren't trying to kick a field goal there. Somebody might ask about that. We were going for the win on all 4 downs and thinking that we're going to get it. And man, we liked the calls that we had, and we just didn't execute well enough to get it done. It was always, all the red zone stuff that got us. We needed our touchdowns. So our numbers will look like crap there in the red zone, but man, we were so close to winning that football game. And give them credit; they hung in there and got it. And but I love the way we played today. And so I know we got our penalties and we had some stuff, and there's always stuff to get better. But that's a freaking competitive group, man. They fought their ass off today, on both sides of the football, and so I just, it's going to help us down the road. We're going to keep playing really hard. We're going to keep playing tough, and we're going to make it hard on everybody we play.
Seahawks held the Bengals to just 60 yards of offense in the second half. All Cincinnati got was a field goal. Afterwards, quarterback Geno Smith said the defense did their job. The offense did not.
Really, really proud of those guys, and that's what we expect from those guys. They got a lot of great players on that side of the ball. They're a big reason this team is going to win a lot of games, and so we're going to need them to play like that and continue to play like that for the rest of the season. And as an offense, it really hurts, especially as a quarterback, man, seeing those guys battle the way they did. And I think they only gave up like a 50-something yards in the second half. And for us not to go down there, get 2 or 3 opportunities to go take the lead, and for us not to do it, that's on me. That's really on me. And so, like I said, got to be better, and I will be.
Smith's quarterback rating was just 69.5. That's really not very good, but he threw for 323 yards. Kenneth Walker III scored Seattle's only touchdown. Seahawks back at Lumen Field Sunday to host Arizona. They'll kick it off at 1:05 on Fox. To the NFC West we go. Cleveland handled San Francisco. That's right. The Browns upset the 49ers 19-17, and the Rams no problems with Arizona 26-9. As you can see by the standings, the 49ers lead the NFC West by 2 games over Seattle. The Rams are in 3rd place, 3-3. Cardinals coming to Seattle at 1-5. And Texas takes a 1-game-to-none lead in the American League Championship Series. 2-0 the final last night over Houston. Game 2 is today at 1:37 from Minute Maid Park in Houston. It'll be on Fox and FS1. And Game 1 of the National League Championship Series is in Philadelphia. The Phillies will host Arizona. First pitch, 5:07 on TBS. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. On this Monday, the 16th day of October, I could have chosen but did not for the obscure holiday. Today is National Feral Cat Day. There are a lot of wild cats run around making babies with other wild cats, and we have more wild cats. It's a problem. It's World Food Day. That's so big I couldn't even wrap my head around that one. National Dictionary Day. It's Department Store Day. It's Bosses Day. It's World Spine Day. But today is the day, because it's Monday, and when you sit down at your workplace computer and you turn everything on, if you have a whole bunch of junk like that on your desktop, it's time to clean it up. Now, we had a coworker here, retired now. I'm not going to mention his name because I told Cal Fitzsimmons I wouldn't mention his name, but you should have seen his desktop. But he knew where to find everything, so I didn't, to each his own, I suppose. But if your desktop looks something like that, it's maybe a good time to clean it up a little bit and delete a bunch of files that you don't need or are never going to use anymore, because, of course, it's going to free up the RAM, and it's going to free up the space. It's going to make your computer work better. So clean up your virtual desktop today. If that's what your virtual desktop looks like, I wonder what your actual desktop looks like. Probably not much better. Get her done today. Monday is always a good day to do that. It's bottom of the hour. Boy, a lot of things happened in history on this date. For one thing, on this date in 1793, Marie Antoinette lost her ability to eat cake. Marie Antoinette, the widow of Louis XVI, of course, her husband met his maker not long before that. And, well, what are we going to do with Marie Antoinette? Well, let's just 86 the old noggin, and they did. At the height of the French Revolution, Marie Antoinette is guillotined. right in the middle of Paris. Of course, she once told the peasants to let them eat cake, and now, well, you can't eat cake without a head. Marie Antoinette. Toast. 230 years ago today, October 16th, 1793. They don't do that anymore. John Brown wanted to start a slave revolution, a slave uprising to take off the shackles of their masters in Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. He didn't organize it very well, and it didn't work out very well, for one thing. The authorities had a general idea that something might happen. John Brown led his raid on Harper's Ferry, West Virginia, one of the most significant events leading up to the Civil War. Scared the bejesus out of a lot of people who didn't want that to happen. October 16th, 1859. During the raid itself, 10 people were killed, 7 people were captured, including John Brown, and those 7 people were eventually executed. That's the headline from the New York Times, October 16th, 1859. The behemoth that is the Walt Disney Company is 100 years old today. You've probably heard about this. They've been advertising it quite heartily. October 16th, 1923, 100 years ago today, the Walt Disney Company is founded. Walt Disney Company, they own Disney Studios, Disney Pictures, Pixar Pictures, Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, including the Star Wars franchise. Disney owns 20th Century Fox. They own ABC. They own the Disney Channel. They own ESPN. They own FX. They own the National Geographic Society. Disney owns Hulu. They own A&E. They have Disneyland and Disney World and 12 other theme parks. By the time this show is over, they may own this station for all I know. Disney, 100 years old today. 55 years ago today at the Olympics in Mexico City, Juan Carlos and Tommy Smith, the day after their black protest for holding up the Black Power salute during the ceremony after the 200 meters. One finished with the gold, one finished with the bronze. Peter Norman, the Australian, got the silver medal. He participated by wearing a badge. This did not go over well. Tommy Smith and Juan Carlos were kicked off the United States Olympic team and sent home on this date 55 years ago today. 1978 was the year of 3 popes. We had Pope Paul VI. He died in September. The conclave got together. They elected another Italian pope, Pope John Paul I, who took his name from his 2 previous successors. He died about a month later, and they all got together again in Rome to elect the new Bishop of Rome and the new leader of the Roman Catholic Church. And an obscure cardinal from Poland by the name of Karol Wojtyła got the job. And when you look at the video from ABC's live coverage of the white smoke coming from the fireplace and they announced the naming of their new pope, they all went, "Who?" Here's the video.
Sanctissimum ac reverendissimum Dominum, Dominum Carolum, Sancte Romane Ecclesiae, Cardinalem Wojtyła.
As far as we can understand, the Cardinal Felici has just announced the name of a Polish cardinal. Am I correct, Father O'Keefe?
This is exactly correct. This is Cardinal Charles Wojtyła, who is 58 years old, and he is the Cardinal Archdiocese of Cracovia.
Sidi nomen imposuit Ioannis Pauli,
who has taken the name of John Paul.
This is quite an extraordinary surprise, Father O'Keefe.
Absolutely.
A non-Italian pope. Hadn't happened since 1523, 455 years. If you wanted to be the pope, you had to be a Roman Catholic and you had to be Italian. They broke that mold, and of course we have not had an Italian pope. since John Paul II got elected. We've had a German Pope and now an Argentinian Pope. He served for 27 years, got the gig on this date 45 years ago today. And 22 years ago today in San Diego, California, in 2001, in the wake of the 9/11 terrorism attacks, Bob Dylan insisted to his people, his staff, that backstage security be tightened during Bob Dylan's shows until things calmed down a little bit. And on this date in 2001, Bob Dylan was refused entrance backstage to a Bob Dylan concert because Bob Dylan didn't have the requisite identification. Bob Dylan denied access backstage to his own concert in San Diego on this date 22 years ago today. Finally, birthdays, one of the most fascinating legal minds in this country's history. William O. Douglas, of course, went to Yakima High School, now Davis High School. Graduated from Whitman College. The federal courthouse in Yakima is named after him. Served on the United States Supreme Court for 36 years and 211 days, longer than any justice in Supreme Court history. He wrote more opinions, both majority and dissenting, than any justice in history by far. He was a paper factory. Very controversial figure, but a fascinating one, born in the state in 1898, died in 1980 at the age of 81. Barry Corbin. Maurice Minifield on Northern Exposure, War Games, Lonesome Dove, Modern Family. He lives happily at his ranch in New Mexico. Barry Corbin is 83. And happy 43rd birthday to Sue Bird, of course, who spent her entire career as a professional with the Seattle Storm, won 4 championships with Seattle, won a couple of national championships with UConn, MVP. The now retired Sue Bird is 43. Mike Magnotti has an opinion. I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's about improving society, which we could all do. And then it's coming up this Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon, the 2nd annual Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo. Joel Myrene is the organizer, and he will join me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word. I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Check out ClubProCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
In today's environment, risk management assessment is a crucial process for your business. Risk assessment will identify, evaluate, and mitigate hazards. Don't let risk impact your business income, reputation, operations, and your overall success. We can give you peace of mind by transferring your business risks to the insurance providers. Call Stacy at August Edge Insurance today to schedule a risk management assessment for your business.
Hey, this is Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, many Christians today share the perception that society is deteriorating, and that's evidence that we are in the end times. Well, I don't deny some nasty stuff is going on nowadays, but I do feel a lot of this deterioration is just the natural progression of human nature, which has always been problematic. Now, I contend that in many ways, society is improving. Now, not perfect yet by any means, but improving. For example, recognition of our need to acknowledge and stand up against domestic abuse and domestic violence. our acknowledgement and willing to deal with the abuse of our children, our increased recognition of and the respect for the rights of the disenfranchised. Also, an improvement is an increased recognition of the respect of women's rights and their role in our society. And like him or not, the fact that this country matured enough to elect a black man for president. Now maybe, just maybe in some ways, we're moving in the right direction. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Need a break from reality? Central Washington Water has a showroom full of possibilities. Ask about a saltwater system for a more natural approach to water care. They use less chemicals and have less maintenance. Free-flow plug-and-play spas make it simple and affordable to get you soaking. At Central Washington Water, there's a hot tub for every space and every budget. Central Washington Water, your water care professionals.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Get your favorite beverage and a wide variety of food choices all under one big roof at the Tap Room in Pybus. The Tap Room has the most popular choices for lunch and dinner in the Valley. With unique appetizers, salads, sandwiches, and tasty rice bowls, everybody will find a new favorite dish. Plus many craft beers from Hellbent Brewing, or you can choose wine, cider, or a delightful craft cocktail. Experience the family-friendly Tap Room at Pybus for yourself. It's just what you've been looking for. Anytime you can put an annual behind it and a number 2 in front of that is good, which means the first one went well, which means there'll be a second, and then you can put second annual. And by golly, the second annual, Joel Myrene is my guest. He was on here before back in May. What the official name of this thing is?
The Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo.
Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo. Back in May, Joel, on a whim, said, let's see if we can get a bunch of vinyl nuts together, record people like me, and see what happens. And I would have to say the response was overwhelming. It was huge. You must have been pleased.
I was very, very happy with the response. Yeah, we sold out of vendor tables and kind of estimate there was about maybe 350 to 450 people through the door throughout the course of the day. So
and a line out front.
There was a line out front in the beginning. Yeah. So that was really cool to see. Yeah.
For those of you who don't remember, back in May, Joel put this on at the hall at the 600 block of Chelan.
Yep.
The brick building that nobody really knows what it's there or what it is there for. Talk about the genesis of doing the first one back in May. It was just kind of a let's throw the spaghetti against the wall and see if it sticks kind of thing?
Yeah, talking to a friend that's a collector and just talking about, we used to go to shows at this IOF hall on Chelan Street and just
music shows.
Yeah, music shows. Right. And we would put them on there and it was such a great time and just have good memories in that building. And he's a vinyl collector, I'm a vinyl collector. And he was talking about selling some of his records and that just kind of sparked the idea.
And of course, the revival in vinyl has been well documented. It's outselling and has been outselling compact discs for a number of years. I never did give up vinyl. I have mine, and I love it. It's an integral part of my daily life, and that helps too. That the younger generation are getting into it.
Yeah, they really have. Even though streaming is probably the biggest way people consume music. Vinyl sales have overtaken CD sales at least, and so I think it's you're holding that. You got the nice artwork. It's something you put it on the record player. You got to be intentional about it, and people are drawn to it now.
Yeah. And it's a serious. I listen to albums for the most part as works of art. I will listen to the entire side one. I will turn it over and I will play side two as a continuing piece of music. It's the way I prefer to consume it, and I think that's the way that most of the artists want their music to be consumed, and that says something too.
Yeah, definitely. I also prefer listening to side A, side B, as opposed to, streaming a Spotify kind of best of or you know, it. And I appreciate that bands still put their track order in that format sometimes too, so. Yeah.
What Joel is so delicately trying to say that I will is streaming sucks. First of all, it's compressed. They compress the crap out of it. It just sounds bad.
I agree.
But a vinyl record where you have a good stereo amplifier / receiver, a good preamp, if the case may be. Most turntables don't even have a preamp anymore. It's not even required. All you need is a line input into your amplifier, and you're good to go. The preamp is built into the turntable. Good turntable, good stylus. Can't stress that enough. And the number one mistake that people make when they get into vinyl, I think they like it, they don't bother to see if their turntable is level. They take it out of the box, they unpack it, and they put it on there and play a record, and you got to level it. I have a special level, and I actually re-level my turntable about once every month or so. I'll double check to make it, and it'll, the house settles a little bit. I know it sounds like totally anal, and they also don't fine tune the fine tracking and stuff like that. This all has to be done.
Yeah, when you get a better turntable, you can fine tune all that stuff. The entry level ones, it's a little harder to do some of that, but you can work those ones a little bit. But even if you get the entry level turntable, you can still upgrade the stylus, and that's huge.
Yeah, it's worth it. First of all, the stylus is absolutely huge. I agree with you 100% on that. But it's worth the extra half an hour or so it takes. And there's all kinds of videos on how to do those specific things because you'll see the turntable. Anti-skating, what's that? The other things like that. How much weight do I put on the stylus? All of these things are terribly important. But once you get your turntable locked in, you're in business. Yeah. You're giving away a turntable, aren't you?
We are giving away a turntable this time. Free raffle ticket if you just come to the expo. You can come to the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo table. We'll give you a raffle ticket. At the end of the day, we'll giving away an Audio-Technica LP60 turntable.
Good basic starter.
Yep. And you can upgrade the stylus, and if you decide vinyl's your thing, you can upgrade it and get a better stylus. But it's a great entry-level turntable. So
there's a company out of Portland. I can't remember the name of it. If you're a little nervous about the whole stylus thing. Most of the styluses that come with fairly decent turntables are good styluses, but if you really want to get into it, and they can do one of two things. They can just send you the stylus and you can install it yourself, which means you need microscopic little tools. Or you can just tell them what kind of turntable you want, what kind of stylus you want. It will already come pre-done on the head, which is a huge saving. So when you look back at May and you saw the sea of people coming into the door, you thought, why the hell didn't I charge admission? I mean, I could be making some serious dough there. It was entirely free for vendors and for attendees, and now you're going to mix things up a little bit, and this is cool. I'm all for it. Talk about some of the changes for the expo coming up in November as opposed to
in May.
What you did back in May.
So this time we'll charge $20 for a half table spot or $30 for a full table spot. And then also admission to the public is still free, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. But if you want to, for the bigger time collectors, you can come at 10 a.m., pay $5 at the door, and get that hour early entry above everyone else, and kind of get first pick.
So for the early birds, it's $5, and you get in before anybody else. And 11 o'clock, you open the doors to the public. And the table thing is for people who are going to sell their vinyl. We should point that out. How big is a half table or a full table for you vinyl?
Half table will be 4 feet by 2.5 feet, and a full spot is big enough to bring your own table, about 8 feet by 4 feet or something. So pretty big spots. I think it's pretty inexpensive for people that want to sell. And actually, we're going to cap it at 31 tables. We increased the capacity a little bit because we made a little more space in the hall. And I think we only have about five spots left.
Oh, that's it. And so by the time this airs, so if you want to get a table, what does one do, Joel?
You can reach out on the social media. You can direct message on Facebook or Instagram to the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo page.
If you go to Facebook and type that in, pops right up.
Or email at Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo @gmail.com.
do the Facebook thing. I mean, I was halfway through that, and even I got lost. You brought some cool stuff.
Yeah. So since it's getting close to winter time, we'll have beanies for sale with embroidered beanies with the Apple Valley
that's cool.
Vinyl Record Expo.
Boy, this is not big and thick.
Yeah,
very comfortable.
So we'll have those for sale. We have T-shirts at the Apple Valley table too. I should note we'll also have some people selling record players there too at the expo this time.
Right.
And as well as like vinyl records and CDs.
Will they be playing some of the records there? Like, hey, what's the genre here? Can I hear a track or two? Is that doable?
I think
bring your own set of headphones or something like that.
Some people will have record players at their tables, maybe a few. I did have a listening station last time, and one person used it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that again. But if they want to, they can always put it on the turntable that I'll have that's playing music there, so they can check out a record that way. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what else you got?
So
more classic stuff. Oh, this is the featured record.
Yeah, this will be the featured record.
Here, I'll hold this and you talk.
This is from a band called Dryland from Bellingham that are friends of mine, and the artwork is done by Logan McQuaig, who's from Wenatchee. Super talented artist and very talented at everything he does, actually.
Only 4 songs on the record?
4 songs on that record. They do have a new record coming out actually in about a month.
Okay.
So the vinyl for the new one wouldn't be quite done in time. So
I understand completely.
But that band, this has an interesting tie-in because this is our featured record, being Dryland, but they're going to play a show at the Oddfellows Hall, the first show there in 22 years, Saturday, November 11th.
And you're part of bringing them on board?
Yep, it's going to be Dryland from Bellingham, Datura from Wenatchee, and the band I'm really excited about is a band of 9th graders called Icarus. And so this is kind of the reason I'm doing that show, is to give the younger band a place to showcase their music and play it in front of their peers, and they're the reason I'm doing this.
9th grade is not too early to get into that thing as well. You brought some more of your classic posters from the old days?
Yeah.
Flyers and stuff?
So we'll put up posters at the hall. I might do it in 1 or 2 sections because last time they were kind of spread out and weren't as easy to see, so I'm going to have maybe a couple walls where these are all showcased, and they're going to be music posters from concerts dating back from the 50s, from all over North Central Washington.
Some of these groups I actually even remember.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the decades I don't remember, but I remember the groups. And that's a nice touch. That's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Have that.
Trying to make it like
other cool stuff. So your vendors are probably pretty happy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, most of them are coming back, I suppose.
Yeah, most of the ones from a lot of the ones from the first one that didn't sell most of their stock are coming back if they're able to, and then a lot of new vendors too, because we increased capacity a little bit. So, people from Wenatchee area, the North Country, Portland, Twisp, the west side of the mountains too. So all over.
If you're looking to buy, we'll get all the where it's at and the times and the dates real quick. If you're looking to buy, bring a bag. You don't want to be walking around downtown Wenatchee with a bunch of records. It ain't easy. So bring a bag that's going to hold as many records as you think you're going to buy. And I remember that. And I'm guessing cash transactions.
Yeah, it'll be depending on the vendor. I know at my table I can take card, cash, check. It'll just vary. But I think most of the people are probably cash. Some will do, Square. They'll take credit cards via Square, or
but
some people take Venmo.
The no-brainer is just if you bring cash, everybody's going to take cash.
That's the easiest.
So give us the rundown again. The time, the location, all that good stuff. So
it'll be Saturday, October 21st at the IOOF Hall at 601 North Chelan. It'll be 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is $5 early entry. 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. is free to the public. And we'll also have a coffee vendor there. Aloha Dreams Mobile Espresso will be there, and she'll be serving up coffee and treats.
Aren't you glad you kind of stumbled on this? It's funny. It's just 2 guys sitting around talking, and the next thing you know, you got this going on.
I know. Usually I think it was a Facebook Messenger conversation, and it was one of the few times I've had a useful time using Facebook, instead of a complete waste of time that it usually is.
If there's a certain record that you had as a kid that you can't find anymore, and you see it on eBay or Discogs and it costs way too much money, you never know what you're going to stumble across. And a lot of these record collectors, the vendors I'm talking about who are going to be there, are genre specific.
Yeah.
If you're into electric Chicago blues from the 50s and 60s, you're probably going to be somebody there. That's what they have. Or folk music or rock and roll from the 70s. This guy's a rocker from the 70s and the 80s. Whatever it may be. The odds are pretty good. There's a genre with your name on it.
Yeah, especially, one of the sponsors is Road Trip Records from Ellensburg, and it's Mark Pickrell runs it, and he was in the band The Screaming Trees that were contemporaries of Nirvana, and so his record collection that he comes with is phenomenal, and he's going to be one of the sponsors along with like the Comet magazine and Time Capsule. But you're completely right. It's every table is different. Just bring in such a wide variety of stuff. So
and a lot of independent pressings. They only did 400 or 500 copies, and that was it. And before you know it, those 400 and 500 copies become 50, become 7, and then everybody wants them.
Yeah. So I think it's I'm expecting it to be full this time too. So and like I said, a lot of new stock. So. Yeah.
Again, if you want to be a vendor, there's only 5 tables left, and you got to get a hold of Joel. Go to the Facebook page. Don't do the Gmail address, because by the time you type it in, you'll forget why you were doing it. Joel, you going to see me one more time before the big show?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Joel Myrene, everybody. You don't want this guy calling you on Monday morning, which means they did something to you at the hospital on Friday afternoon. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, owner at Springwater Insurance Group. And at Springwater Insurance Group, we are your Medicare nerds, because we're continuously studying Medicare rules so our clients are up to date. One of the publications we study is called Choosing a Medigap Policy. And Chapter 3 is my favorite because it discusses how to change your coverage with no health questions asked of you. Because we've learned nobody wants health questions. So give us nerds a call at Springwater Insurance Group for all your Medicare questions. 509-888-2600.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
This is Grace, and this is her world record-holding guinea pig with an iconic name, Abby.
She currently holds the Guinness World Record for the highest bar jump by a guinea pig. I ride horses and I jump, so I kind of thought it'd be interesting to teach my guinea pig to jump like my horse does.
One day she came out of her room and looked at us, and I said, "Did you get it?" And she said, "Yeah, we got it."
After we won our award, we came to Abby's to celebrate.
Hi, everybody. Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. There's ice on my heat pump and under my heat pump.
Well, ice under your heat pump is normal. When we go into a defrost cycle, it melts the frost off, creates water, which freezes to the ground. Ice around your heat pump is a thing that you should probably give us a call about.
Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks.
We started out this program an hour ago with fairly clear skies, about 65-70% clear skies. That has already begun to change. The clouds are beginning to roll in. There's a very fast-moving cold front that's going to come in, going to give us a little bit of afternoon rain, and then it's going to exit the area overnight tonight. We'll have a little bit of wind associated with that cold front as it leaves. During the course of the day today, it's not going to be too windy. A little windy during the overnight hours as it exits the area. And then we're going to get really warm. In fact, here's a brief little look at the week to come from the National Weather Service. The slide sent our way. Again, a little bit of rain today for the Wenatchee Valley. The Puget Sound area is going to get a lot of rain. It's going to dump most of it in that area, but we have a chance of some rain here in the Wenatchee Valley, about a 50-50 chance later on this afternoon. And then overnight tonight, it is going to clear out. It's going to cool down a little bit. And then we're talking about very warm weather. Unseasonably warm, as a matter of fact, by the mid part of the week. So 65 today, quite a bit of clouds. Again, some afternoon rain. Can't rule it out. Chance of rain goes down quite a bit tonight. Partly cloudy skies, a little windy as the cold front leaves us, 46 for the overnight low. A few residual clouds on Tuesday. They'll give way to quite a bit of sunshine by the time we get to Tuesday afternoon, about 63. Our normal high this time of the year, by the way, is 61. And then look at this. Wednesday, forecast high of 69. Our record high for Wednesday is 72. Our record high for Thursday, 75. And our record high for Friday is 70. With a forecast high of 75, that certainly looks like that is going to be a record breaker with lots of sunshine. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the Live It Up Show, the show where we explore and discuss how to take your life to that next level and beyond. We cover health, wealth, relationships, and how to create a life that feels good, because after all, that's what we want. We want to feel good. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson, and today on the show, we'll be visiting with Angela Collins, who is the creator of Compassionate Parent Coaching. Angela specializes in coaching and supporting parents of LGBTQIA children, and this is a very important topic and one that's near and dear to my heart. Angela's mission is rooted in kindness, acceptance, and connection, and I'm inspired by her work.